Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Klein Connect here, and of course, head coach Steve Jennings. Coach, before we jump into the weekend, I want to send a quick shout out to our friend and bus driver, Tom Hubbs. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tom, and thanks for all you do for us.
Hopefully it's a great day and week for the big man. All right, well, over in Austin over the weekend, 2 shutouts for Greg Oros. He played very well. We'll get into that. But a 3-0 win on Friday. Start maybe left something to be desired, but a really strong second and third. Power play goal. The penalty kill was 100%. Over the course of the weekend, you're back to the #1 penalty kill in the league. And we'll get to Saturday. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But Friday night's matchup, what did you think?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about, the start wasn't great. I thought we weren't bad. We were just a little bit off, and then we got better and better as the game went on. I was really happy with that.
Yeah, it starts out with kind of a greasy goal, but then things seem to kind of open up a little bit. And the skill and speed that you guys played with, especially like we talked about, second and third particularly, seemed like the ice sort of got tilted a little bit. What did you guys as a staff, when you look back at that game, what were some of the things that you felt like you were doing well?
Yeah, I think our puck management was really good. In the first period, I think that was how we got ourselves into a little bit of trouble. We were turning the puck over a little bit too much, and when we settled down on that, we're not turning the puck over, it just made it so much easier for us to play.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving in to Saturday, obviously after building, getting some confidence and so on, and having that shutout win on Friday, one of the keys that you guys talked about was having a better start. Well, getting 2 goals in 3.5 minutes, or 3 minutes 30 seconds roughly, and chasing their starting goaltender is one heck of a way to start a hockey game. Yeah. And again, a power play goal there on Friday, and penalty kill once again 100%. Thoughts on Saturday's matchup?
Yeah, I thought it was great, and it was the right start we wanted, and what I like is the contribution across the entire roster there was really good. So we had, we had 3 of our 4 lines contribute a goal, so that was really good. And some of the younger guys, again, Landry Schmuck with the big goal to get us going, and Gilly comes right back and scores that second one, right? And that was really good, right? Because we're starting to see some depth come out in terms of our scoring.
Sure.
And we're starting to see really solid contribution from the power play now.
Yeah.
So, and consistency.
And then we talked about some of the saves that Greg Oros made. I felt like they were almost more important on Friday in the first period, because he needed to make some big saves to kind of keep you guys going. But still, again, there were plenty of big ones on Saturday night too. Not as many grade A chances for them, I would say, on Saturday. But there were, again, a couple. Your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I mean, he was what we needed, right? Yeah. He played well. He played with confidence and with poise, and settled the play, and that was really important, I think, for him as well as for us. I think he got that win last weekend. That was his first one in a year, right? Because he didn't really get to play that much hockey the year before. And then you could just see the change in him, right? So that was in a very positive way. So he was good. And, we talked after the second period on Saturday night, we were still leaving him in spots where he had to make some saves that, frankly, in a game like that, he shouldn't have. And, that was really good. That even when the game felt determined, he was still putting in hard work. So that was really good.
Well, 3 straight wins for him. As you mentioned, the confidence definitely, it shows just in his poise in between the pipes and so on. Might be coincidental, but he was on Wings Weekly last week. Follows it up with 2 shutouts. So, just saying.
Yeah. And then he left for the World Junior Tournament.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to him over there. Power play, 18.9% right now, and penalty kill at 89.7%. Like we talked about, or like I mentioned, it's back to the number one penalty kill in the league, and the power play, as you mentioned, continues to improve. What's working well with both the kill and the power play? Like you said, it's coming around and it's looking better, and there's more consistency there. But can you put your finger on what it is?
Yeah, I think it's really people on both sides of the special teams really understanding the concepts that we're trying to implement, and then executing to it. Right, I've kind of felt, especially with the power play, we were changing based on what we were seeing people do in their kill. And I think sometimes that's a challenge when you change, I won't say too much too frequently. That makes it harder for the guys to really start to understand it. Now they actually have a much better understanding of the concepts we're after, and so what we're seeing is we can actually change even in the games.
Sure.
What we're trying to do, and it's clicking better just because there's a much greater level of comfort and understanding about what's going on. And then on the kill, same thing. I mean, we don't use the whole bench to kill. The guys who have that responsibility understand it. They buy into it and work really hard at it, and they're taking a lot of pride. So I'm real happy with that.
Excellent. All right. Well, you mentioned it that Greg Oros went home to play in the world tournament there. What do you do in that case? Do you bring somebody in from somewhere? Do you have how does that work?
So we have one of our affiliates is in Jack Weineke. He just arrived today, so he'll be here for the next couple of weeks. He'll be here, to work with Josh this week. Josh Aycock will be back in town this week, so he'll get a chance to work with him. And so for us, it's a good integration where we can bring him in, let him see what we do, and and it's also a good evaluation opportunity for us there. And it does also give Dom an opportunity to step up and grab the bull by the horn, so to speak. So looking for him to do that.
Excellent. Well, last week, you and I kind of talked about turning a corner and about playing with some confidence and so on after a win on Saturday night against Minot here in the ODI Center. That it feels like that's continuing on, and it's been said, and I've thought that oftentimes at the beginning of a year, a veteran-laden team, they start strong, and a younger team is going to struggle a little bit, but about right around the break, it seems like things start to kind of plateau, and for the veteran teams, I mean. And the younger teams are catching up. There starts to be a little bit more of the growth you're seeing and the maturity. Is that something that you'd buy into or agree with?
Yeah, totally. I think when you have an older team, keeping everyone all fired up the entire season gets to be a challenge, right? Because some of the guys maybe get frustrated because they don't have the deal that they're looking for yet in place, and trying to manage through that process, and then also just guys starting to think about life in college and so on, right? And with the younger guys, it's really getting them to understand what junior hockey's all about, the grind of this. It's a long season, right? And I think so getting them through those first couple of months where they really start to settle in and understand the process, and this is my life for the next 2 or 3 years, right? Really getting them to that point is the growth curve that you're trying to get to. So there's a challenge on either one of those, right?
For sure.
That's the I think the difference when you look at our team this year versus last year, right?
Would you add to that there's the chemistry starts to kind of, things start to gel a little bit, and that the level of chemistry, it takes a little time at the beginning.
Yeah.
But again, right around the break, it seems like that, guys start playing more like as a team, I guess it seems like too.
And the culture starts to take over, right? So the first part of the year really is laying in the culture and getting everyone to understand what the culture really is, buy into it, do their part, and help the guys who need a little bit of help. Sure.
All right. Well, again, great weekend, sweeping Austin on in their building on the road, and again, 2 shutouts. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. But up ahead is Minot right now. As far as win percentage goes, you've got North Iowa at the top of the Central Division with 29 points, Austin in second with 29 points, Minot in third with 29 points, Aberdeen Wings in fourth with 27 points, St. Cloud then with 22, and Bismarck at the bottom of the division with 15 points. And some of these games, again, are going by win percentage because some teams have played more games than others. But again, you see a Minot team that you've gone back and forth with. A Friday, or actually a Thursday win up there, and then a loss on Saturday. And here, when they came back down here, a Friday loss, Saturday win. You're back and forth a little bit with the team that's kind of evenly matched in a lot of ways. What do you have to do against Minot?
I think play like we did this weekend is probably a pretty good start, to be honest. Yeah. I think for us, it's consistency. Getting out early always is going to be a big help. special teams will be a factor here for sure, and winning that special teams battle is going to be important. And frankly, we need good goaltending.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg showed this weekend, and he and Dom have the ability to win games, and we need those guys to put us over the top sometimes.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about goaltending last week a little bit about how it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but definitely there's the level of talent is there where they can take over games like that. Well, Minot, as I mentioned, coming up, and we'll get you some details here in just a moment, but a big weekend. The Wings both Friday and Saturday night are going to be wearing the Don't Tread on Me Veterans Ranch fundraising t-shirts, and then the jersey auction on Saturday night. Again, we'll get you details coming up on that in just a moment, but that's kind of a fun weekend, and the guys always get excited, it seems like, for those jersey auctions too.
Yeah, I think the jersey auction's always something that fires the guys up. Wearing the specialty jerseys, it's a treat that we get to do at home, right? And we're actually going to take the bus out Thursday, and we're going to visit the ranch as well. So I think it'll be, add some more meaning to it for the kids, and as well as us for the staff. And it's again, an agency that does some really good work with people who are near and dear to me too. So it's good.
For sure. All right. Well, that's about all I've got for you, Coach. I appreciate you taking some time. Again, congratulations on a great weekend, and best of luck against Minot.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
All right. We'll be back with the second portion of Wings Weekly coming up after this.
We raise the bar on bar food with sandwiches, tenders, and there's more where this came from. To the greatest of all times.
Welcome back to Wings Weekly as we continue on, and as usual, a player is joining me. This time, it's Cade Neilson of Nottingham, England. Just happens to be having a great year. 38 points, leading the entire North American Hockey League. 25 apples so far here, and 13 goals in 24 games. That is more goals than in 55 last year. You don't think we're going to talk about that? We're going to. So what's the difference? What's happening?
I don't know. I think it's just a little bit of puck luck. Line mates are playing really well, so got to contribute a little bit of success to those guys.
Sure.
The puck's going my way here. That's pretty much it.
All right, well, keep it going because the point streak continues on, and like I said, 13 goals is more goals than you had in 55 games last year. It was 12 goals last year. More assists, of course, but still, that was a pretty impressive stat, I thought. Normally at this point, I would ask people to tell me a little about how they got started in hockey and stuff, but in your case, it's not much of a mystery. Your dad, Corey, played for many years. Your brother, Logan, plays. He's in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so not real stretch of the imagination to figure out that you had a lot of influence into the world of hockey and some guidance, of course, too. So it's not a mystery of how you got started, but it has been a very interesting ride here so far, taking you to 3 different countries, and you've seen a lot of teams and a lot of the world for someone so young.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that journey, not how so much you got started, but how you've grown and moved around to different teams, different places. That's pretty unique. Not every 20-year-old can say that they've had that experience.
Yeah, I've been around the block. It's pretty cool. I like it. Just going to a new place every once in a while. You meet a lot of new people, a lot of new faces. So I'm a pretty sociable guy. So yeah. I kind of like meeting. Yeah, just new people. It's fun. So
tell me a little about when you first started getting into hockey. Were you a big fan, going to your dad's games and stuff, and just being like, I want to try this, or was it in some cases, I feel like maybe a parent is like a really big Vikings fan, and it makes their kid just dislike that team or whatever. So it can have a reverse effect sometimes.
I loved it. It's actually funny because when I was younger, if I was like well behaved for the week, I'd get to go to my dad's game, and if I was bad, I'd have to stay at home with the babysitter. But my brother was the complete opposite. He loves it now, but he used to hate it. So his punishment was going to watch my dad's game, and if he was good, he'd get a babysitter. So
you know what? I feel like you told me that last year, because I remember it being in my head that you were pretty happy to be able to go.
Any chance I got, I was at the rink.
Nice. Well, you're like you said, a sociable guy, and I know that we've talked before about when new guys come in that you're going to give them a hug, and you're kind of you've got a very loose style in the locker room, a locker room guy that people tend to gravitate to. Do you feel like that helps you in the leadership as far as one of the captains and setting an example, I guess, for some of the guys, or do you think, because we've talked before about different styles of leadership. There are some guys that are a lot more quiet and kind of by the book or whatever, and then there's other guys that kind of lighten the mood. So how do you fit in? Do you feel like there's some balance there?
Yeah, I think we're a really well-balanced group, and I think we have a lot more leaders than just the captains.
Sure.
Like, we have some really experienced guys like Gilly, Bossy, Carl. Like, we have a lot of guys that do very well for us and help us. So Gaff and Doobie are probably a little more on the quiet side, lead by example, and people kind of just follow what they do, and I'm just the loose, kick back, have some fun, like joke around the locker room, but when it's game time, it's time to be serious.
Right. I know I've asked multiple players before about who's the clown of the class clown of the locker room, and quite often your name gets brought up. So tell me a little bit, like you said, game time to be serious. I see you a lot of times talking to different players. Oftentimes, if there's some pushing and shoving going on, you'll peel guys off, or you're talking to the ref. Is there any joking around that goes on then? Because I know, Riley Murphy was great about playing pranks on people during the games. Like, somebody lose a stick and he'd just kind of shove it away from them, and different things like that. Or are you along the lines where it's because it is game time, it's a lot more serious?
No.
No?
No, I can't stay serious I think it's just my attention span.
Yeah?
I can't stay serious for too long, so I'm joking around. Like, a lot of the time when I'm talking to the ref, I'm usually just joking around at them, telling them we made a bad call. It might have been the right call, but
but you just got to say it anyway.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but yeah, I still joke around out there. So
last year, with you and Clay had after warm-ups, had a routine, and then also the Rochambeau, rock, paper, scissors. This year, I've seen you grabbing someone on the other side of the glass and trying to do that. Is it something that you feel like is sort of a superstition, or is it just something you do for fun?
It started for something for fun with Clay and I. And by the way, I did win last year. The whole year I won, so I beat Clay. But it started like this year at the showcase. I was kind of wondering, am I going to do it? And I saw we had some fans there. I was like, awesome, we'll do it. And then it just kind of carried on. Now it's just a little bit of fun, like a little bit of superstition, but if I don't do it, it's not the end of the world. But I have a little group of guys now. They stand next to our bench, so I just go down them. I'm definitely losing this year. not winning this year. So
I saw one time where you guys were up, playing Suey or something, and you were must have been coming out after a coach interview or something, but you were walking past him and you said, "Hey, don't beat me anymore," or something to that effect. So they're all starstruck.
Yeah, they're winning right now. They got the mental side of the game down.
Yeah.
My mental is just, I'm losing. I'm just all over the place right now. Second guessing myself.
What is the mental side of Rochambeau? How do you, is there a strategy?
There has to be, and I just don't know it right now. There has to be something that I'm missing, because they've got me good.
I thought maybe you were just letting them win. Coming up on the holidays, we just had Thanksgiving, and of course, that centers around food. But what would you say is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yeah. So I'm glad you answered that, answered the way I was hoping, because I was hoping it would lead into how you spend your Christmases. Are you going to get to go home, or are you going to have to stay with Billet family?
I got to go home this year.
Nice.
So last year I got to go to Texas, which was a lot of fun. Now I get to go home. So
that's great. You get to spend some time with family. Since you have been away from home for Christmas and stuff, are there certain traditions that you guys do as a family that you look forward to? Is there certain things around Christmas that you guys do that you've had to miss out on in the past?
No, I think we're just a pretty basic, just super chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast.
There you go.
I love my chocolate chips. But we always open up a present Christmas Eve, before we go to bed. Just the standard stuff,
I think a lot of people grew up that way because parents were just tired of kids asking for it. So they're like, fine, we'll give you one on Christmas Eve.
A small one from your stocking. I like that.
Yep. speaking of chocolate chips, I gave you a little shout out again about beating Bailey and
Got the muffin.
chocolate chip muffin.
It was good.
It wasn't just chocolate chip either. That thing was all kinds of chocolate. What about when you're not at the rink? What do you like to do? Do you have any hobbies? I know a lot of guys like to fish, or big into gaming or anything like that. What do you do for fun?
Kind of boring. I don't know. I like to do nothing because we do a lot. So anytime I get to do nothing is usually a good time for me. But
so like sitting and staring at a wall.
Okay, maybe not nothing. I like hanging out with the boys. We used to play poker, not so much this year, but play poker, watch TV. I'm a big TV guy.
Yeah.
Big TV guy. Just hang out, do some dumb stuff.
So if you're watching TV, is there certain shows that you like, or is it just like whatever's on?
Just whatever's on Netflix. I usually just pick my show and just binge watch it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I got to mention Euro Singers. That was on Instagram that you and Nate had a lot of fun with. Yeah. Do you grab another Euro this year, or how does that, or does it just die off?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it that much. I guess, I don't know. Probably grab another one. We'll probably throw a couple songs on there, but I don't know. It's obviously it's not going to be the same.
Right.
It won't be the same, but if we take some videos of singing, we'll throw it on there.
Nice. All right. You've got Minot coming up at home. Talking with Coach, the last two times you've met with the Minotauros, it's been a split, both Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday. What do you feel like you guys have to do as a team to be able to come away with some wins here and keep this ball rolling after sweeping Austin?
I think we just got to follow the same sort of suit as we did this weekend. I think practice was really good last week, so just kind of keep doing that, and then Steve brings out his stuff before every game. We like to call it the secret Krabby Patty formula. Yeah, he's got a little name for it. So just listen to what they got to say, because it's working right now, so just stay dialed in.
Yeah, okay. One other quick question in regard to Minot. I thought it was interesting that obviously Houston Cartman plays for Minot, and he was a teammate of yours. Now, it's not unheard of to play against a teammate that you once played with, but it's not exactly all that common either. I can't really recall it ever happening in the Central Division, because usually when there is some movement or something, it's not in the same division. What is that like to play against somebody that you shared a locker room with for 60 plus games?
Carpy. Oh, I love that guy. But, it's just, we're friends off the ice, but as soon as we're on the ice, we get into it probably more than I do with most other guys. We're both competitors, and we know when we're on the ice, we're not friends. So we'll battle it out, but away from the ice, we'll send each other a text after the game or something and say, good job, how's it going?
I don't know, that's such an interesting concept to me. It's sort of like how fighting in hockey is so different. I can remember, and I've mentioned this before, but I've seen guys where they're, telling each other good fight, and I'm going, what other sport do they do that? Usually you'd think that anger would boil over and you'd hang on to it, and it would make it tough to continue to be friends with someone who you're playing against. But that's not really the case, and I knew that was the case with you, so I wanted to mention that.
Well, I think it's just we're all kind of the same. We all understand that.
Yeah.
Things get heated in the moment, and then battle it out, and we're good.
Right.
Yeah.
Just let the water off the duck's back, so to speak. All right. Well, I won't keep you much longer here, Cade. I appreciate you taking some time to talk to us, though. And again, congratulations at this point in the season: 38 points, 13 goals, 25 assists, leading the North American League. That is not an easy task, and you've been obviously putting the work in, and continuing to have success night in and night out. So congratulations on that. Huge weekend here this last weekend too. So, and good luck against Minot.
Thank you.
All right, folks, your Wings, of course, back in action this weekend as we host the Minot Minotauros. Doors open at 5:30 both nights, and the puck drops at 7:15 on Friday. Check out specialty jerseys, which will be worn both nights, featuring the DTOM, or Don't Tread on Me, Veterans Ranch south of Aberdeen. It helps veterans suffering from PTSD and other things. It's also our annual Christmas food drive. Bring a non-perishable food item and receive a $5 general admission ticket at the door. $15 bar stool seats are also available in our Automax party deck. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852 to reserve your spot. On Saturday, we will welcome Cashwa Distributing into the Automax Party Deck. We'll still be wearing those specialty jerseys, and you'll want to stick around after the game as we will be auctioning off the game-worn jerseys immediately following the game. And the proceeds, of course, going from the auction going to benefit the DTOM Veterans Ranch. You can get your tickets ahead of time online at tickets.aberdeenwings.com. $10 general admission tickets are also available at any Sea Express location in Aberdeen with additional purchase. Season tickets and corporate night sponsorships are available for the 2021-2022 season. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852 for more information. Don't forget, Wings Weekly is now a podcast. Find the audio for this season's episodes on Spotify, Stitcher, or iHeartRadio. And for all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Once again, Cade Neilson, thanks so much for coming on. And again, good luck against Minot.
Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, that'll wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.